we've done the preliminary. We can check, make sure that we have fuel, so that if we needed to call the fuel truck, we could do so. Okay, we don't need to call the fuel truck. So the next thing we'll do, we'll leave that out here on the wing. If you'll go ahead and jump up on the wing, open the door, top and then the bottom one. So keep your feet on the black here where it's painted, because that's where it's stressed for weight. Now, if you'll look, there's a couple things that we need to do. The first thing we want to do is see the flap handle between the two seats.
Yes.
Pull that all the way up, and that'll put these flaps all the way down, because we're going to be inspecting them. Number two, take the keys that I have here, put them on the glare shield, the dashboard, and if you'll pull those solar shields out of the windshield, that way we'll be able to see the keys. That's a safety feature, so that anybody walking by can look and say, oh, the keys are on the glare shield, the prop's not about to turn. Now, see the red switch between your controls and mine?
Yes.
Okay. Turn that switch on. Next to that switch, you'll find a switch for the landing gear, and on the left side of that switch, you'll see a rolling switch, kind of a rolling thing. Turn that. Okay, that's fine. And then see all right, so you turn on the anti-collision lights, but next to the anti-collision light switch, just to the left of the first switch you turned on, not the red one, the first gray one, you'll see a landing light. It's kind of rubbed out a little bit. You can see it.
Good.
Okay. Now, we'll do a quick run around. If you'll stay up there, I'll do the run around for you.
Okay.
Lights are on. Check. On and on. Okay, now turn those white switches on. Turn that red switch back on. The battery in these aircraft are about the size of the battery of a motor scooter or a motorcycle. So we don't want to leave them on. So now we've done that. Now the power switch for the now we're ready to do a run. Okay. So when there's two of us, it makes it easy because you can turn on the master, check the lights. Right. Okay. So now we're going to get back in on this side, so we'll start on this side. So let's start here. Check and make sure that the linkage is good, and then check. You can push the flap down an inch or so, and look and see the three hinges. Make sure all the hinge bolts are in place. There you go.
Okay.
Now this is the aileron rib, so you can move it up and down here. If you move it up and down and see inside the cockpit, you'll see the yoke turning. That's good. Lift it up and check the linkage on that, and look at the three hinges on that. It's good. Good. Okay. Now we get to this end. Let's squat down. Look at the landing gear and the underside of the wing. We're looking for any kind of dent or damage underneath that we couldn't see ordinarily. Looks fine. All the inspection places are in place. Look at the inflation of the three tires. All three tires look properly inflated. That's normal. Okay. So this looks good. Move to this side. Take the chain off. Now we look at the leading edge of this wing, make sure they didn't hit a bird or something, put a dent in it. That looks fine. And now, look at this landing gear. We've got about 4 inches or so of play in the hydraulic strut. Okay, the gear looks good. The brake is on. You can see the rotor for the brake. The tires in good shape. Everything looks normal. Now, we've checked the amount of fuel. On the side, we can check the quality, so if we've got about half a tank filled. That's fine. So, what color is the fuel?
The color is slightly blue.
Slightly clear? That's good. Slightly blue is what we're looking for. If it's any other color, somebody's misfueled the airplane. All right? And there was no water or debris in the fuel, so it looks good. So now we're at the business end. Tell me what we're looking at.
Well, we want to look to make sure that all the wires are nice together.
Right.
We don't have any general oil leaks, nothing's loose.
Good.
filter looks like it's tightly screwed in.
Right.
All of those are good. It's closed.
Right.
I believe that's all on this side.
That's all we need to look at. What I do is I'll typically, if it has, not every one of our airplanes have this, but this is the primer line.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll check, make sure that's secure.
Okay.
These baffles here, I want to make sure that those are secure because that takes high energy air that comes in the front, slows it down and pushes it through the cooling fin.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that those are in place and not damaged. And finally, I want to check the amount of oil in there. So turn to the left, take it out, just let it drain down in the tube while you're looking at it rather than onto your shoes. So you just kind of prop it up in there, rotate it around until you see the marking. Okay, so there's 5. Keep going, keep turning, keep turning. There's 6. There's 8. So above 6 is what we're looking for. Golden State's rule is that if it's less than 6, we will put oil in. Okay. If it's a long cross country or a hot day, if it is where it is, which is just above 6 now, we put another quart in because oil is a part of the cooling system.
Right.
If it's cool today, we're only going up, we're staying very close, we're not doing a 3-hour trip or a 6-hour trip,
okay.
So we're fine. And then we just put that on to where it's finger tight plus up.
Don't want to reef it?
No, I don't want to do that. So now, before you secure it, there you go. Get it underneath that lip there.
That would be embarrassing.
I've done it. Okay. So now we're up front. Look at my air intake. Looking in here. If I see any bird's nests or anything, obviously I got a problem. While the prop is vertical, if you reach in there, you'll find that alternator belt.
Got it?
Got it? It's good. All right. So do you remember how we put the prop horizontal? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, verify the keys.
There you go. Keys are on the glare shield. Perfect. Okay, because the prop's not hot right now. Now let's inspect the prop for any damage. See how they rub that out. If it gets a little thick in there, they'll give it a little filing. Do a little filing on it. Looks good. Okay. So let's do an inspection on this side. You notice that oil filter has something that you don't usually see on a car, and that's that safety wire on it. Keep it from
You don't really want that backing out? That would be
no, that wouldn't be good. That'd make it that'd put us on the 6 o'clock news story. Okay.
the land in the pasture.
Get the land in the pasture. There's another one.
I hold on that.
Good. So, and then this is where the brake fluid is. We check that fairly often, but if you take that out and look inside, you'll just see it's up, should be pretty close to the sight line. It's painted on the outside of the can.
Yeah. Good thing you can see. It sounds right in my eyeballs.
Yeah. Okay, now there's a place to check some fuel right here. This is one where you kind of twist, so you kind of push and twist, I think, to the left, and grab a sample. Looks good, no water, and now you smell like you have gas at your pilot. All right, it's all good.
No problem.
All right, now we'll check the fuel on this side.
Let's check the brakes.
Right, good. Check the pitot mast, which is hanging down below the wing here. If you look down here, that mast is for, do you remember what that's for?
Or no, airspeed.
Airspeed, right. So it measures the ram air going into the little hole in the front, so we want to make sure that hole is open.
Correct.
There's a small hole in the bottom.
Right.
And then there's a very small hole in the backside, and that's where the static pressure is measured. Right, and all of that runs to our instruments inside.
Okay,
great.
Run it. No real damage. You've already checked this.
Yep, check that.
Fixed plates. No impressions on the wing, no dents.
Right, all the inspection plates are there.
Yeah.
Good. Check your aileron.